Tony Stark Iron Man issue 19 sees the classic suit-wearing Tony tell his employees to clear the building as he tells Shapiro and Andy to give him a hand, while Janet and Jocasta hold down the fort. Ultron Mimo says the heroes have taken everything from him, so now all he has is petty human revenge. War Machine confronts the villain, but Ultron summons his child robot-human hybrids to protect him, saying he knows James would never kill a child and he can't fire around him since his targeting systems are ruined. He blasts War Machine before turning his attention to Stark Unlimited, looking to end Tony Stark and Iron Man. Janet and Jocasta Mimo run into the repaired Aaron, who used the human robot parts from the mansion to rebuild himself. Aaron recognizes Jocasta right away, despite being in Friday's body, saying he'd know her anywhere in any hardware since her code is what makes her special. Jocasta blames her bond with Ultron for this happening, but Aaron says he doesn't blame her, only Ultron for this happening. Tony Mimo works with Andy and Shapiro to make their separation machine portable and weaponized. Tony apologizes for messing up Andy's life by giving him a job at Stark Unlimited, but Andy says that it was his choice to accept it. And besides, he got to see what most scientists only dream of, and he's saving lives. The biggest thing Andy is grateful for is Tony getting him out of his own personal cave, and he's never felt more alive. Arno, his parents, and Sunset watch Andy's interaction with Tony meanwhile, with Arno telling his impressed parents to quiet down since the action is about to start. Ultron blasts his way into the building, taking down Janet and Jocasta in an instant, but Tony comes to fight the villain, who thinks it's perfect he fights Tony in his ultimate form, while the hero uses his flashy antique armor. Ultron knows that he's so weak he can't even break two of his hybrids' grip as his monster children grab Tony. Tony wanted this to happen, however, as he calls for Andy and Shapiro to fire their separator weapons at the children, unfusing the children who are dead with their robot counterparts. Ultron calls them monsters for destroying his achievements, wondering who exactly is the villain here, but Tony says that it's him, since it was Ultron who killed the children when he made them. Aaron crawls from the wreckage, saying that he's connected to the robot humans with his spare parts, knowing Ultron did indeed kill the humans and the robots when he fused them. Ultron refuses to believe their lies, since his fusions worked with Vision and Wonder Man, but Aaron knows that it was just a fluke thanks to both of their power sets. Ultron points to Tony, saying that it worked on him, but Tony knows that it's because he's a simulation of the real Tony Stark, who never came back when he died, meaning he's an artificial being, and he's finally accepted what he is. He plans on separating Ultron and Hank, and when he does, he will know he isn't the perfect being he thinks he is. Ultron thinks he's bluffing and will destroy everyone when he becomes unrestrained from Hank Pym, but Tony is willing to take that chance, ordering the doctors to fire. However, Ultron surrenders. Aaron Mimo finds the injured Jocasta, and Tony reassures him that they will fix her. Andy asks how they will secure Ultron, and luckily Jarvis has received word that the Avengers are on their way. So later on, Ultron is sealed in a vibranium stasis tube that has been enchanted with Asgardian runes. Captain Marvel asks how James is, learning the hard part of getting into the suit is over, and while it's tragic, he's relieved to learn that the people he attacked at the mansion were already dead. Carol asks how Tony is, and after a moment, Tony says that he is fine. As the heroes leave, Janet tells Tony she knows he's far from fine, and Tony says that he doesn't know himself and he's a lie, an echo of a man she once knew, and he doesn't deserve someone real like her. Janet, however, knows what's real and what's not and can prove it, kissing Tony, but he leaves, apologizing for everything. In the weeks that follow, Arno, thanks to Tony declaring himself an artificial being, takes over all of Stark Unlimited, merging it with Banetronics, and denying Andy and the others access to any of Tony's assets, including Jocasta and the War Machine armor. However, James tells them to take it up with the Pentagon, since that's who he's answering to now. Arno tells Sunset to let him keep the old suits, since his concern is the future, and he wants all resources to be put into building the Godbuster armor, since that will be the Iron Man of 2020. At the Uncanny Valley, Aaron arrives, rallying the robots to throw off their flesh-covered counterparts, and it's time for the robot revolution. In Manhattan, a disguised Tony tries to order a drink at a bar, telling the bartender that that this is technically his first drink ever. The bartender doesn't believe him, but Tony says that he was served virtual drinks if that counts. Taking the whiskey, he wonders what harm would one little drink do, as in Arno's apartment, Howard and Maria begin ringing in the new year with their son, who dons his Godbuster armor, telling his parents he won't be joining them since he can't waste this moment since it's his destiny. He takes off into the sky, saying that nothing will stand in his way as he rockets towards Times Square, revealing himself to the people ringing in the new year. Tony Stark Iron Man issue 19 ended this part of Dan Slott's sprawling story in a really satisfying yet shocking way as Ultron is defeated and Tony's life is shattered yet again. I really respect that not everything turned out well for Tony, and he's probably in worse shape than he was when the series started, psychologically speaking that is. What I'm really looking forward to is Carol learning that she actually killed the real Tony back in Civil War II. That's going to be a really cool story to follow up on and hear the ramifications of. Arno also taking everything from Tony, becoming the new Iron Man, and Tony returning to the bottle is some really exciting things to explore in the upcoming Iron Man 2020 event. I can't wait to see it. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10.